Hi everyone, this is the Michael Myers Fanatic discussing another franchise, and this time it's the Karate Kid franchise. I want to let everybody know that I'm a huge fan, but I'm not a hardcore fan, if that makes any sense. I watch these movies all the time, but I do not know the huge details like the hardcore fans do. Sometimes I have trouble remembering the names of different characters, so you guys are going to have to take it easy on me there. The first film I know came out in 1984, so we'll do that one first. Um, I know it was written by Robert Mark Carmen, or Kamen, I should say, if I'm pronouncing it right. Um, and it's about this guy that moves to California. He's from New Jersey, and when he moves to California, he basically gets bullied, and he has an interest in this girl named Allie, and she's played by Elizabeth Shue, and he's bullied by this guy named Johnny Lawrence, played by William Zabka. I hope I'm not butchering your name, sir. And he's taught karate by Mr. Miyagi, who's played by Pat Morita. So, like I said, Daniel moves there and he's bullied. There's even this scene where there's a Halloween party, and I think Johnny dressed up as like this skeleton type thing or something. Um, at the end, Mr. Miyagi ends up teaching Daniel um, how to overcome his adversaries and things like that. You've got Mr. Miyagi teaching him the famous wax on, wax off philosophy, and he teaches him paint the fence and paint the house and sand the floor. These are all throughout the films, and Daniel doesn't like it at first, but he sees that it has some hidden meaning, some philosophical meaning. The first one was okay. I'll explain why I say that later on. But it was alright. The girl, Allie Mills, she finds out that Johnny Lawrence is crazy. So she ends up showing a little bit of a interest in Daniel LaRusso. And then basically you go to the sequel, Karate Kid 2. And that one I really did not like. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys what's going on right now. Karate Kid 3 was always my favorite because that was the first film that I had ever seen. So that's why it holds a special place in my heart. You have to forgive me for that. 1 and 2 were okay. Now with Karate Kid 2, I'm about to go there now. I'm about to go to that page now on Wikipedia. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these films. I'm just going to give my favorite moments in the franchise. Okay, so you have Karate Kid 2, and basically with this one, Daniel LaRusso goes to Okinawa, which is in Japan, I think. I think this one takes place a few weeks after the original, according to the timeline. I did not like the whole thing where he met this girl from Okinawa, and then there was something about Mr. Miyagi defeats his rival Sato, which was also a student, then the village is safe forever. I just didn't like that one. I'm sorry, you guys, for the ones that know me, I'm a straight shooter. Period. Like, I just speak my mind. I really didn't care for Karate Kid 2. I didn't like the whole if he defeats the guy, then the village is safe forever. It just seems so, um, I don't want to say stereotypical, but it just seemed like your typical martial arts movie. I just didn't like that aspect of it. And then I'm trying to remember who the guy was that Daniel faced in the second one. I know he faced, what's the guy's name? Johnny Lawrence in the first one. Okay, the girl that he took an interest in, by the way, her name was Yuki. I might be pronouncing it wrong. It may be Yukie or something like that. I don't remember the kid's name. You guys are going to have to correct me on that one. But like I said, they agreed that if Miyagi wins, the village is safe forever. Again, didn't like that one. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Oh, his name is Chosen. Okay. It's a strange name. And he's played by Yuji Okumoto. But yeah, Daniel defeats Chosen and he honks his nose. He has live or die, man. What can I say? I think Daniel accompanied Mr. Miyagi to this Okinawan thing because his teacher was about to die or something like that. They have this guy named John Kreese in the original, and he's played by Martin Kove. He's not in the second one. He only appears via flashback. And same thing with Johnny Lawrence. So, there's that. Now we go on to Karate Kid 3, my favorite. Okay, this is the one I love, Karate Kid 3. Everyone hated this one, and I really don't understand why. I don't understand that. Because I thought this one was great. You had Terry Silver, who's like the ultimate villain. I like how Terry Silver was like a devilish kind of figure trying to influence Daniel. By the way, John Kreese is the founder of Cobra Kai, and that ended up being the name of this series, which has become very famous online already. I'll get to that in a second. But you basically have Daniel and Mr. Miyagi returning from Okinawa back to Los Angeles, and Terry Silver comes to town, and he's a student of John Kreese. Daniel LaRusso doesn't know that. Daniel basically wants Mr. Miyagi to train him for this tournament. Mr. Miyagi doesn't want to do it. Terry Silver offers to do it, and this is where he uses karate to influence Daniel in a negative way. I really like Karate Kid 3. I like the whole thing with Terry influencing Daniel. I like the thing where Daniel breaks the wooden man. I like when he hurts Mr. Miyagi's feelings. And, because we normally don't see Mr. Miyagi cry. I think he cried in the second one, but we barely see him argue with Daniel and have it result in crying. I like the character Jessica Andrews, played by Robin Lively. I liked Mike Barnes. I like how Mike Barnes kept trying to get Daniel to sign the papers so that he would enter the tournament, and Daniel didn't want to do it. I like how Mike Barnes basically had them hanging over a cliff while Daniel was trying to get the tree, the bonsai tree. I just really enjoyed this film. I like how they sort of teased at a relationship between Jessica and Daniel, but then Jessica just reveals out of nowhere, she's like, "Oh, I have a boyfriend and I want to give it a try with him." So that just made the whole thing null and void. I like how Daniel fought Mike Barnes at the end. One thing I want to comment on though is how come every time Daniel beats one of his opponents, they never really show you what happened at the end of the tournament? The movie just goes off. I don't like that part. But anyway, I really liked Karate Kid 3. Robin Lively was awesome as Jessica Andrews. I really liked that one. And they did do one more sequel called The Next Karate Kid. And we're going to go to that one. Okay, now this is the fourth and final canonical Karate Kid film. And this is the only one not to feature Ralph Macchio. And that is the only one of the original series because they did a remake in 2010. I'm not even going to talk about that. This is sadly Pat Morita's final appearance as Mr. Miyagi. He does appear in a couple of flashback scenes in the Cobra Kai television series. But anyway, so Daniel's gone. I think he's in college or something. And we meet this girl named Julie. She's played by Hilary Swank. She's a bit bratty, but then again, her parents did die, so that might explain some of her behavior. She's being harassed in school by these boys, and then she goes to a Buddhist monastery. I think this movie takes place in Boston. It doesn't take place in California. But anyway, she goes to a Buddhist monastery where she's trained by the legendary Mr. Miyagi. And she comes back with that anger released out of her. She's also taking care of this hawk named Angel who has a broken wing. But anyway, at the end of the film, she basically she kicks his ass. I like that. I like the fact that he got his ass kicked by a chick. That was so cool. Very empowering. I really enjoyed Karate Kid 4. I know a lot of people did not like it. I liked it. I liked the warm atmosphere of it. I like all these movies except for the 2010 remake. I think these movies are very clean. They're good for children to watch. You know, they'll give children a sense of confidence as long as they understand that karate is not to be used aggressively. It is to be used for self-defense and self-defense only. Okay, so now we're going to end it with Cobra Kai. This takes place 34 years after the first tournament, and it basically centers on Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso's rivalry, and they're still holding on to it after all this time. I'm laughing because I find it hilarious. They're almost senior citizens and they're still acting like children. That's funny to me. But anyway, Daniel has a daughter, Samantha, and she's played by Mary Mouser or Mooser. I don't know how to pronounce that. Um, and Samantha starts dating this guy named Miguel that Johnny Lawrence is training. Johnny is basically a loser now. He's a drunk who lives in a very crappy apartment. You also have the return of John Kreese, Allie Mills, And Terry Silver is supposed to be coming back in season 4. I can't wait for that. Hopefully they bring back Hilary Swank as Julie. That would be awesome. Maybe her and Daniel could get to know each other. But I want to thank you guys for listening to my review of the Karate Kid series. By the way, there's like this big fight in the school. It's like Mortal Kombat style. Miguel ends up getting hurt, goes to the hospital. He gets out, and Johnny and Daniel basically make up at the end of season 3, and they're allies against John Kreese, who's like completely psycho, I might add. So I'm looking forward to that on Netflix. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, for all my Halloween fans, maybe we'll have some news soon and I can do a reaction to the Halloween trailer. Maybe I'll have an interview for you sometime soon. We'll see. Thank you guys for watching.